One enormous deception within the church culture today is the idea of imputed righteousness, or in layman terms, the idea that Jesus has already paid it all on the cross and you don't have to do anything else but just believe. These same Christians believe in once saved, always saved. They believe that God does not see righteousness in men because all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. They don't make a distinction between righteousness and ungodliness. There's a verse that they always quote in church. And the funny thing is, people don't even know if this verse is New Testament or Old Testament. They think probably maybe the Apostle Paul said it, but they quote it in church all the time, and it goes something like this: all our righteousness is as filthy rags. So you have probably even heard this as a Christian, and it's crazy that we have all heard this verse quoted, but we don't know the context of the verse. We don't know if it's New or Old Testament. We don't know who said it, but this verse has been applied to the state of the whole universe. So all of our works are filthy rags. And if you want to believe in God, that's okay, because if you just believe in Jesus, even though all your works of righteousness are as filthy rags to God, he will accept you by this imputed righteousness, meaning the righteousness of Jesus. And all you have to do is just believe in Jesus's finished work on the cross, and you are saved. So this doctrine runs very deep in the veins of religion. And in fact, they will cast you out as a heretic if you speak against this doctrine. So if you start to say, well, maybe our works are not as filthy rags, what happens when we really have works of righteousness given to us by the Holy Spirit? Is that filthy rags? If you start to bring up this topic in church, even though they don't know where this verse comes from, they will oppose you to no end. They will call you a heretic. But if you're interested in this topic, and if you want to know where this particular verse really comes from and how it was actually displayed in context and historically, I encourage you to check out my website. I'll leave the link below in this video, because this verse is greatly misused in the Christian church, and it's very important to know why the prophet Isaiah was using this verbiage that all of our works are as filthy rags. So how was that used in context during his time in Isaiah? And then also importantly, we need to know how this is being misused and abused in the Christian church so that we can reject false doctrine and not fall prey to Satan. We don't want to be taken to hell. We don't want any lies of Satan to convince us that it's okay to sin and that anything that we do for God is just seen by God as sinful anyways. All this doctrine does in the Christian church is bring confusion, and it makes Christians who are wanting to sin think that it's okay before God, because after all, Jesus died on the cross, he resurrected, and it's finished on the cross. So I can go on looking at porn, watching TV, and just living an ungodly life, because all I have to do is believe in the finished work of Jesus and just try to do good things once in a while. And as long as I'm doing that, then God will receive me in the end. So there was a Christian brother some years ago who originally did a PowerPoint for a Christian church, and he put this PowerPoint together quite well. He brings out the specific verses and the context of this Isaiah passage. This whole passage of all our righteousness is as filthy rags. So if you want to know the context, the true context of how it should be used and how it has been misused, I encourage you to look at the link in the description of this video. May the grace of Jesus be with you.